What's up, everybody? We're going to recap UFC London, Movsar Evloev versus Lerone Murphy. Starting right with the main event. Really strange fight. Movsar doesn't shoot a takedown for like the first 2 rounds. Like the whole first 2 rounds. I don't know if they have this stats on here. He didn't shoot. The whole first 2 rounds, no takedowns. Third round, shoots a takedown. Pretty much whenever he shot a takedown, he was having a ton of success with it. Getting him down, like Lerone wasn't really able to stop him. It, I can't get over. He was 9 out of 10 on takedowns, so he was 90% on takedowns, which is an insane percentage. Just did not decide to shoot them in the first 2 rounds. I think everyone was thinking like Movsar was just selling the fight, was about to lose. But then we get the scorecards, and I'm gonna read them off to you. Movsar won 48-46, 48-46, and then a draw with 48-47. I have no clue, personally, how he won 48-46. I thought it was a clear 47-47. Should have been a draw. That was nuts to me, truthfully. I just don't see a world where Lerone only wins 1 round. Now here we go. The takedowns are right here. I'm blind. It's in the name. That's genuinely insane how they only gave him 1 round on 2 scorecards. I just don't get that. I don't think that, obviously numbers aren't everything, but he outstruck him the first 2 rounds. And I'm pretty sure this is a bigger, wider margin. But that's truly crazy. But I guess a good win by Movsar. Lerone supposedly got hurt in the 3rd round. It's unfortunate. I hope he's all right. But that's a little crazy. The scorecards. I was thinking it was going to be a draw and they were going to give the title shot to Gene Silva, but maybe not now. Maybe, yeah. I do believe that Movsar deserves a title shot. Like, obviously, he has no finishes, but at the end of the day, at this point in the UFC, we got to give the best fighters the title shots. Diego Lopez can't get 2 title shots before Movsar gets a single title shot. That's crazy. Moving down to the co-main event, I'm heartbroken. My man Michael Aswell Jr. put on a fight. They completely changed these total strikes. That's nuts, dude. I mean, Michael Aswell was up at least 10, 20 strikes, and they completely flipped that around. Of course, they're going to go back and do that. But it was a really competitive fight, I thought. I thought Luke Riley won 29-28. I thought Michael Aswell clearly won the 2nd round. I know I'm not alone in that. And I'm not saying that Michael won the whole fight. I did think that Luke Riley probably won 29-28, unfortunately. But all the same, it was a really competitive fight. I think Luke Riley is a very good fighter because Michael in himself is a really, really good fighter. One of my favorite fighters of the whole roster. Put out a really tough performance, showed his grit. I think, any slightly lesser fighter than Luke Riley, I think Michael Aswell runs through. And honestly, same with Luke Riley. If Michael Aswell wasn't so good, I think Luke Riley would have run through damn near anyone else. That was really, honestly, one of the better fights in the whole card. Really enjoyed that one. I'm quite upset, though, as I said, that Mike didn't end up getting that win. As I said, one of my favorite fighters. So, tough loss there. Let's talk about Michael Venom Page. He needs to be cut. He needs to be cut. 27 significant strikes through the whole fight, and that's bullshit because there's no way he threw 27 significant strikes. That's a whole bunch of crap. And Sam Patterson only threw 12. And yes, honestly, let's shit on both of them because that was an atrocious fight. But at least Sam Patterson was on a 4-fight finish streak. Michael Venom Page, since being in the UFC, has done absolutely nothing. He's done nothing. He's beaten Jared Cannonier, but I don't think he has a single finish. He's done absolutely nothing since coming in the UFC. I personally would love to see him cut. How are you complaining about getting high-ranked fights and then walking out to that walkout song that's They Don't Care About Us and all these things, and you're going to put on a performance like that? Of course you're not going to get a title, not a title shot, but a high-ranking fight if you're going to put on a performance that boring. I mean, that was up there with Derek Lewis, Francis Ngannou. That was up there with Izzy versus Yoel Romero, maybe worse. Like one of the most atrocious fights of all time. This was honestly more boring than Islam versus JDM. This was more boring than Hamzat versus DDP. Genuinely atrocious. Disgusted. I would love to see Michael Venom Page be cut personally. Sam Patterson on thin ice himself for not engaging, but at least he has 4 finishes in a row. And he's unranked 170 pounder. And Michael Venom Page is complaining, why are you giving me an unranked welterweight? And if you're complaining about that, go finish him. You gotta make a statement, dude. It's genuinely insane. Iwo Baranowski. I'm gonna pull this up. Hold on a second here. I put up a post on Twitter a couple of days ago saying Iwo Baranowski under .5 rounds may generally be a lock based on how he fought last time, and he knocked him out in 30 seconds. I think that was the most clear and apparent. Like, someone replied on the other one I posted about it that was like plus 200. If I was more of a betting person, I wish I would have bet on that, but not the case. But crazy. Austin Lane is garbage. NFL players moving over to UFC or MMA, sorry, or UFC have no chins. It's kind of crazy. Austin Lane needs to go. He needs to be cut. Didn't land a single punch. Iwo Baranowski, like I said, just put him out cold with like 2 punches. Really good performance. 2 great performances in a row. Obviously against not really good competition. This is even worse than his last fight. I think it was against Ibo Aslan. But Austin Lane's worse than him. But that being said, great performance. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Roman Dolidze. Pretty mediocre fight. Roman Dolidze, we know, sucks at fighting. Christian Leroy Duncan beat him. It wasn't great. It wasn't super fun, but a win's a win for him. I did want to talk about this fight. You know, I did pick Curtis Campbell, and I'm regretting that. I know I mentioned in my video that I think Danny Silva was a really, really tough debut. And I didn't see him knocking out Curtis Campbell, but I very well could have seen him winning by decision. I kind of was like super 50-50 split on this. Danny Silva winning by decision possibly, but I did not think he was going to put him out cold like that. That was nice. It was impressive. We know Danny Silva is one of the more underrated fighters in the entire UFC, and that was a really impressive win. So shout out to him. Hope he gets the performance of the night bonus. Fantastic finish. Any other fights that were particularly good? Mason Jones versus Axel Silva. This is easily fight of the night. Fantastic fight. I thought Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell was a great fight as well, and might have gotten fight of the night if it wasn't for this. This was one of the fights of all time. Absolute war. Axel Sola's face, dude, it's just a gash down the side of his face. I'm going to show my father this fight, actually. Just insane fight. Insane pace. I felt like there was more volume than it has here, but either way, yes. Well, that just shows total strikes for Axel Sola 68, significant strikes 65, and super close for Mason Jones as well. Like, they were throwing everything in all these punches. They dropped each other multiple times, I'm pretty sure. There's no way it's 0 knockdowns for either. That's wrong. I know they each dropped each other at least once, but just an absolute banger of a fight, easily fight of the night. Yeah, wow. Great fight. I really don't want to say. Fantastic. Not too much else going on this entire card, honestly. Nice finish from Brando Pritchard, but other than that, pretty mediocre card again in London. But with that being said, I was not super impressed with Movsar Evloev. I think he looked like the better fighter, but with that being said, I thought he should have been down 2 rounds before the third. And he kicked Movsar on the junk too. Got a point taken for that. With all this being said, he deserves a title shot. John Silva does not deserve the title shot yet. Diego Lopez surely does not deserve a third title shot. Give Movsar the title shot. And I think objectively it's a really good fight for Volk. A good fight to retire on. I think he probably beats not probably. After watching this fight, I think he absolutely beats Movsar. I think, yeah, maybe could even finish him. I don't know, but Volk looks levels above the 2 of these guys. So, give Movsar the title shot to Volk. That could be Volk's retirement fight. Volk finally gets a win over a Dagestani wrestler. And I think he makes it look relatively easy. I don't think Movsar looks super good. I mean, truthfully, though, at the same time, he went 9 for 10 on takedowns. But Lerone has never really been great defending takedowns. I think Josh Emmett, landed 4 on him. So, of course, Movsar is going to go 9 for 10 on you. To give a rating on the whole card overall, I'm going to say about maybe the Axel Sola Mason Jones fight carries this. The co-main event was really good as well. I'm gonna get 6 out of 10. Not a great card. Maybe not even 6. Maybe 5 out of 10. Besides, if you took those 2 fights away, if you took away Luke Riley, Aswell Jr., and then 8 Mason Jones, Axel, Sola, this is like a legit 1 out of 10. But that'll probably bring it up a 5 out of 10 would be my final ranking. I enjoyed it, but yeah, pretty mediocre overall. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe. I got more videos coming out tomorrow, Tuesday, Monday night, 9:30. I have a new MMA live stream I'm gonna be doing with one of my buddies from Twitter, so stay tuned for that. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.